Well, I'm finally getting my life back in sync since the fair. And so today I thought I'd do a quick entire homestead update and try to update you on everything. So there's Chance and Chloe and Charlie, and they've been doing great. I don't know where our little white Brahma chicks are that hatched out, but they've been free ranging too. They run around in a huge little group all over the place. I'll see if I can find them real quick. Well, I walked around the whole area and I couldn't find them, so I guess when we run into them, I'll show you them then. Next is the garden. Marigolds are just beautiful. And the hollyhocks starting to bloom. As you've seen in the last video, we harvested a bunch of cantaloupe and watermelon. And I ended up cutting up the cantaloupe into bite-sized pieces and throwing it in the freezer. And they're still on the cookie sheets, and I'll show you that in a little while. I'm going to bag them up and keep them in the freezer and use them for smoothies and just snacks. They make awesome, cool snacks on a hot summer day. And the beans are coming up, which is really exciting because I was worried about that. It didn't take them very long either because it's been less than a week since we planted them. Of course, the corn is still laying over from that windstorm we had. But it's still growing and maturing, and I think we are going to actually be able to harvest some, hopefully. The cucumber plants are kind of pooping out. So in the upcoming weeks, I plan on going ahead and ripping them out and planting some new ones in there, along with some lettuce and some radishes and a few things for this fall. The pepper plants are doing pretty good. This one right here got so big it fell over, so I had to prop it up. And ever since then, it's not been looking so great, but we've still harvested quite a few peppers off of them. And over here, the tomatoes need some trimming up and all of that, and need to pick a few. So anyway, in the upcoming weeks, I plan on getting out here and doing some maintenance in here and getting ready for fall. Tomatoes are doing pretty good. I've been picking a lot and canning a lot of those, and I still have quite a bit more to do. It sure has been a rainy summer, which is good since last year's drought. But the weeds have just taken off. It's been so hard to keep up with everything. It sure is quiet coming in the barn without hearing Neville's crow every time I walk in here. And yes, the feed sacks are still there waiting to be burned. We cleared those out right before the fair, and so ever since then we just haven't had time to get them burned yet, but we will do that soon. Right down there is Nadine. We've left her in the barn because she's sitting on a nest. She's been sitting on the nest since before Neville died, and we haven't wanted to get our hopes too high, but we are hoping that she possibly will hatch out a few chicks. I'm not sure if they'll be Neville's or not, though, because I know a while back she did get out of the barn for a day or two. And so I don't know how that's going to turn out, but we are hoping that she does end up hatching some. She's been staying on the nest consistently this time. So I guess we'll have to see. Hey, little bit. How are you doing? Sweet goat. You sure do stink. Little Bit's doing good. He's been wanting to get in with the females because I think they are starting to come into heat. Here in the next month or two, we'll have to start thinking about putting him in with them. And he's been running in this pasture here, and what we'd like to do is switch him and put him over there and then bring the females back around to this pasture again. Hey, Muffy Jane. Hey, goats. They're like, what are you doing? You don't have the feed bucket. They're all doing good and happy and healthy. Brooke's doing the chores and they know it, so that's what they're waiting on, is Brooke to come out here. Our turkey poults are really growing. As you can see, we had 5 of them hatch out. We still have the other eggs in the incubator yet. I couldn't tell if they were fertile or not because a large portion of them were too hard to see through. But I think by now it's safe to assume they're probably not going to hatch. Looks like they need some new grass, so we'll have to get that moved. Hello, sweet pea. How are you? And there's Aster. Hey, Nutmeg. How are you? I haven't seen you like forever. Ever since we got back from the fair, the kids have been doing the chores and I have been focusing on the garden because there's been so much to harvest and can and all of that. And so Brooke's been doing the goat and only chores and Miley's been doing the chicken chores. So it feels like I haven't seen the animals forever. It's nice to be out here. And then of course, there's Mr. Oliver. Hey, Ollie. Yeah, sweet cow. Don't eat my hand. You can lick it, but don't eat it. Ouch. You have such a rough tongue. Ow. And he's waiting for Brooke to come out here too. They all know that she went to the barn, so that's what they're waiting on. I have some sad news to report about Bailey. She died just a few days after the fair. We think that there was something, well, we know that there was something wrong with her. She was the runt of the litter and she wasn't growing very well and all of that. We had got her for really cheap, basically just as a buddy for Lily, because pigs tend to do better when there's at least 2 of them. And so, anyway, after we took Lily to the fair, I don't know whether Bailey just got really sad and depressed and missed her, and that's why she died, or what. But I do know that she hadn't been doing very good, really, at all, because whenever she would try to run or do anything, she'd get really winded and have to lay down and rest. And so I really do think that she had some kind of heart problem. The people that we got her from thought she had some kind of genetic stress problem. So I don't know whether it was either of those 2 things or something different, but anyway, she didn't make it. Mr. Turkey's doing good. He's been going through molting, I guess. We were wondering at first if there was something attacking him, but I think he is just molting. And Brooke made it out here, so all the animals are happy now, right?
Yes. I'm sure Ollie was mad at you.
Oh, he was. The goats and Molly both were like, you? We didn't want you out there. We're waiting on Brooke, dang it. Here in probably a month or maybe 2 months, we'll probably be taking him in to be processed and put in the freezer. We are not looking forward to that. I forgot to add about the turkeys. One of you guys asked if we were going to keep any of the poults or sell this batch. And we've always planned on going ahead and selling this batch. I don't know. Now we're kind of considering possibly keeping maybe one of them if there is a tom in there, because Miley is interested in taking them next year to the fair, and these guys right here would be at the perfect age come fair time next year. So I guess we're going to go ahead and advertise them and see what happens and kind of go from there. Well, right there's one of the little chicks. And there's the rest of the flock. They really turned out beautiful. I think they're going to be some big birds. We're still considering possibly, oh, there went an apple. We're considering butchering all of the roosters out of this group here. And that apple falling out of the tree reminds me that we have apples on the tree this year. There's only a few because the frost kind of got them. It's kind of weird because it's mostly the upper branches up there that have all the apples naturally where we can't reach. So that'll make it kind of interesting to try to pick them. But anyway, I'm just happy that we have some apples this year. For some reason, the tree has been dropping a lot of apples lately. But as you can see, there are still plenty on the tree. Hopefully, if it loses some, the rest that stay on will just grow that much bigger. And here's the cantaloupe that we got all chopped up, and we just laid it out on the trays to freeze. I need to get that bagged up here soon, but it does make a refreshingly tasty snack when it's hot out.
That's really good. These chickens are kind of cute because they look like normal chickens, but then they still have that little tiny chick cheep to them.
Hello, Chance, how are you? Well, that pretty much wraps up my update for today. There's a few upcoming videos that I have planned because one of you guys wanted to know if raising turkeys was really worth it, and so I'm going to do a video on that. And the other one was how we care for our goats. So I do plan to do those 2 videos, and there might be a few more that were requested. I haven't wrote down. But anyway, if there's any other video topics that you guys would like to have me cover, be sure to comment below and let me know. And we will try to get back to a regular vlogging schedule.